You've got to save her! Save Martha!
Why? Why did you say that name? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Roll Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with my partner in crime, Christopher Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
And we're continuing our journey to the Snyder Cut with one of my favorite movies, Batman v Superman.
Oh, goody. Yeah, let's see how this review goes. Should I go into the overview?
Yep.
Okay. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is a 2016 superhero film based on the DC Comics characters Batman and Superman. It is a follow-up to Man of Steel, not a direct sequel. The film was directed by Zack Snyder, written by Chris Terrio and David Goyer, and produced and distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. The film stars Ben Affleck as Batman and Henry Cavill returning as Superman.
And let's go with the synopsis.
Okay. It's pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
Gotham City-based vigilante Batman travels to Metropolis to preemptively combat Superman, fearing what could happen if Superman is kept unchecked, while another threat endangers humankind.
And we both saw this in the theaters.
Yeah, we saw it twice.
Yeah, we saw it when it first came out. It was... I liked it, fixed some of the things on there, but it was mainly the theater was mainly mixed on there.
Yeah, and I was a part of that mixed crowd because I didn't know how to feel about this film when I first saw it. I mean, there were some things about it that I absolutely loved, and then there were others that I had major issues with. Some that I still have issues with.
Yep. So let's talk about the casting.
Sure. And why not start it with Ben Affleck as Batman?
Yep.
My God, that man is one of the best actors to play Batman. And of course, this came from an area of we weren't sure how to feel about him being chosen as Batman. Yeah. Because Ben Affleck has been very hit or miss when it comes to, his acting.
Yeah.
But he proved it. He proved that he could play Batman. And he played a much different Batman. This isn't, the I'm going to start out Batman that we tend to see. This is a much older, darker, grizzled Batman that's been through the ringer several times.
Yep.
And he definitely played that.
Yep.
He's also one of the few actors that I truly felt perfectly found the persona of Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Yeah. I liked his performance. I was iffy about his performance when I first heard he was announced. Same like when I heard Heath Ledger was announced as a Joker. Kind of like that. But he did win me over, especially in this movie. He was one of the best things in this movie. There.
Yeah, definitely. And I definitely like his version of the Batcave.
Yeah. And
also, I like how they explain the Bat voice.
Yep.
Because some actors have had good portrayals of the Batman voice, and others were Christian Bale. Hey, he was a great Batman, but where is he? No, I'm not on board with that. Yeah. I'm not on board with that. Either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. No. They actually explain Batman has a voice modulator, which is definitely a good idea.
Yep. And Batman's my favorite superhero.
Same here.
Yep. So I like everything except for there's one minor thing in this movie that still irritates me with Bruce. But we'll get to that once we get to the villains part of it. And then let's talk about Alfred.
Oh, played by Jeremy Irons.
One of the few times he's not playing a villain in a movie.
Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, Jeremy Irons was great as Alfred.
Yeah.
He's a much more hands-on version of Alfred compared to some of the other portrayals that we've seen.
He has also a much more sense of humor than the Michael Caine one.
Yeah, there's actually a nice rapport. Well, pretty much all of the Alfreds and Batman that we've seen have had a good rapport, but this one was different.
Yeah.
Alfred truly treats Bruce as if he's kind of a nagging parent that is trying to look out for him. Mm-hmm. And I actually kind of like that.
Yep. Yep, and a lot of his one-liners are pretty hilarious. We go find a good woman in Metropolis. They'll make it go right. Who are we kidding? It was something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we should get to Wonder Woman.
Oh.
She plays a big role in this, semi-big role in this movie.
Well, yeah. Yeah, a little bit more than a glorified cameo.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually the first time we get to see Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, played by Gal Gadot. And with what we got to see, it was actually, it was pretty nice.
Yep.
It was definitely a nice little taste on what we would end up seeing with the first Wonder Woman movie and more of what she would do in later films.
Yeah. I thought she did a good job. I liked her rapport with Bruce. Kind of a homage to the Justice League animated series with their relationship there.
Yeah. Which I have always been in support of. I am all for Batman and Wonder Woman being together, not Superman and Wonder Woman together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even I have to admit, as far as when it comes to casting, I wasn't too sure about Gal Gadot.
I didn't even know of her until this movie, really.
Well, same here, but I wasn't sure how to feel because she's a lot more petite than what we usually see the Amazon women.
Yeah.
But she proved me wrong. She is fantastic.
And then we should talk about the villain of the story. The one who orchestrated everything.
Did all the plotting and the planning.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor, played by Jesse Eisenberg.
He would have played it, which I would have preferred he portrayed it more like his Mark Zuckerberg. He tried here and there, but mainly he tried to go a little over the top on some.
Yeah.
On a lot of his stuff.
And I understand a lot of people, they would have preferred him go the more modern take of what Lex Luthor is, that much more cool, suave, I've got all the cards in my hand and you don't know how I'm going to play it type of Lex Luthor. Like we've seen in Superman the Animated Series or, those portrayals.
Yeah.
The way I saw Jesse Eisenberg, he was trying to play it a bit of Mark Zuckerberg meets a lot of the more cartoony elements of what Gene Hackman was in the Christopher Reeve Superman. A lot of people tend to forget.
Oh, God.
How over the top Gene Hackman was in those films.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman's fantastic, but he was over the top.
Yeah. Yep. And he ends up orchestrating everything by knowing all their identities and saying that he had it from 2 years ago, all because of his daddy issues.
Yeah. Apparently he's fueled by this all because of the fact that his dad, in the public eye, was deemed a fantastic man, but behind the scenes he was an absolute monster. And therefore he puts that on Superman, and that is the reason why he has beef.
Yeah.
Why? Why couldn't they just go with the route that we've always known? The man with all the power versus the greatest mind in the world, who also has power. Much easier, you know. Makes a bit more sense of, I'm such an egotist, and I think I can outthink, outsmart, and defeat Superman.
Yep. By playing everything, and with one of my big issues is not letting the world's greatest detective doesn't know that he's getting played for. The only reason Superman realizes he's getting played is because Lex Luthor tells him before the fight begins.
I know.
Like, you're gonna fight Batman, and either you kill the Bat and you become the villain, be treated as the villain once people see you, or he kills you, and either way, I win on that one.
And don't worry, if either of you decide not to fight, I still have something in my back pocket.
Yeah. Yep, and then Granny's tea. Granny tea is...
Oh, Lord. The Granny's peach tea.
Oh, yeah. Man.
You gotta give Holly Hunter some credit playing Senator June Finch.
Yep.
You know, despite her smallish part.
Yep. You could also say that about the other best-known DC characters who are only there to get killed off, starting with Jimmy Olsen. Jimmy Olsen, played by Michael Cassidy. He's there for the one scene, and because he's not Lois Lane, he gets killed off. And irony of irony, he was also in Smallville, playing Grant Gabriel, / Lex Luthor's brother. And he was also in the OC, where his character was also a comic book fan. His favorite superhero was Superman, so irony of irony, he gets killed in a Superman movie.
California.
Never thought I would get an OC reference in this review, but I'll put one in here.
Oh, God. And it's not just... How are you going to do Jimmy Olsen like that? He's one of the most important supporting characters for Superman. He's his little buddy. He's one of the guys he confides in. And he's an important part of the Daily Planet. How are you going to kill Jimmy Olsen off? The disrespect.
Yeah.
The disrespect. It's bad enough that in other portrayals of Jimmy Olsen, you've race swapped him. Because apparently Hollywood has this whole issue with redheads that apparently they all must become some sort of black individual or mixed individual. But you're going to kill off Jimmy Olsen in the DCEU.
The beginning of the movie.
Really? Really?
And then let's talk about the thing that pisses you off the most.
How they did Mercy Graves dirty.
Yeah.
You have Tao Okamoto. Fantastic actress.
She was in The Wolverine.
Yes. Beautiful woman.
Yeah.
You have her play Mercy Graves, Lex Luthor's insurance policy. She is not only his chauffeur, she's the right-hand woman for him. She's his bodyguard. You could have done some incredible things with her, showing how she could actually hold her own against someone like Batman. But what do? You blow her up in the Capitol building with nearly everyone else. How could you do that to Mercy Graves? You had a great opportunity of having someone who could definitely play off Lex Luthor and be more than just a hench person. Actually be, I wouldn't necessarily say the equal, but definitely a great insurance policy that could be a great reoccurring individual. Especially whenever Lex ends up in prison, he could always make sure Mercy is running things, play the front that, no, I'm not like Lex. I'm running things different, but she's still doing Lex's bidding. Mm-hmm. And what do? You waste her. What? Seriously, Zack Snyder? Seriously, David Goyer? Seriously, Chris Terrio?
Just like you did with Professor Hamilton in the Man of Steel movie, got rid of it.
You had a great supporting character, and you waste him.
Yeah.
You wasted Jimmy Olsen, and you wasted Mercy Graves. These are two things I cannot forgive this film.
Mm-hmm. So, you want to give out your score?
Well, no. There's still a few other things we need to discuss.
Okay.
Of course, the introduction of what would become future members of the Justice League.
Yeah.
We actually get our first little appearances of Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, the Flash, Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry / Aquaman, and Ray Fisher as Victor Stone, aka Cyborg.
Yeah.
And, from what we saw, it was interesting.
Yep.
Really, the one that was the most interesting is how Victor becomes Cyborg.
Yep.
Oof.
Played by another Smallville actor, Joe Morgan.
Who, for the love of God, stop letting that man do things with technology. He already created Skynet in the Terminator series. We do not need him messing with other technology in other universes.
Well, he also works on a technology city in Eureka.
Always messing with technology. Stop letting this man do this.
Although he's a much more nicer guy in that show.
Hey, he wasn't a bad guy in Terminator.
Yep. And then,
He didn't realize what was going to end up happening.
And then what? And now, should we talk?
And let's also...
Oh, yeah, there's also blood on Wonder Woman and Batman's hands from the climax of Man of Steel.
Yeah. Bruce, could you have, called the people that were in the Wayne Tech building to maybe evacuate it a bit early?
Yeah, before you got there.
Yeah. Couldn't you have done that? So you don't have, the blood of many of your employees on your hands?
Yeah.
And maybe you could have helped that guy that ends up being the bomb that blows up Mercy Graves? But there is also one other thing that I have an issue with this film, and spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen this film.
Yeah.
You can skip this a little, go to the proper time.
Yeah.
The creation of Doomsday.
Or Zod Day.
Yeah. Doomsday is not some weird amalgamation of the corpse of General Zod and Lex Luthor's blood. No, he's an ancient Kryptonian that was a baby created by this mad scientist. He kept putting the baby in harsh environments, killing it, cloning it again, and killing it over and over, and cloning it over and over until it became an unstoppable, an unstoppable monster that can adapt to anything. And that's at least one thing they did right by Doomsday, is his ability to grow stronger and adapt to whatever harms him.
Yep.
But he's not a mindless monster.
Mm-hmm.
Doomsday still has some intellect. He actually talks. The reason why he comes to Earth is he wanted a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw Superman as someone who could give him a good fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a mindless monster created, by Lex Luthor. No. You pretty much waste one of the best stories in Superman's history, the death of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the elements that they use for The Dark Knight, written by Frank Miller in this film, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. But you all wasted the death of Superman.
Yep. They rushed a lot of things to get ready for that Justice League movie, which was 2 movies later.
But I do have to give some credit to the film of having Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohen playing Thomas and Martha Wayne.
Yeah, for their brief moments.
Yeah, especially with the possibility, and I swear Warner Brothers and DC, you better do it. Give us Flashpoint Batman with Thomas Wayne. I want to see Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan himself, be that murderous, dark Batman. And I wouldn't mind seeing either Lauren Cohen or, I've forgotten her name, but she played Vicky Valancourt in Waterboy. She was also the main antagonist in The Craft.
I can't think of that.
Yeah, I've forgotten her name. We'll put it at the bottom. Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing either Lauren Cohen or her play the female version of the Joker.
Mm-hmm. And let's go for scores. I'm going to go this time.
Sure.
I'm going with an 8 out of 10. I'm showing it mercy. Give her... how ironic of that statement, but I'm showing it mercy because I feel like it fixed some of, especially in the climax. There weren't many innocent people in the way of this final climax.
Yeah. They fought on an uninhabitable island.
Yep, which is much better than having so many people blowing their hands, even though they do. And they also do show the aftermath. And Superman does get what he deserved from that Man of Steel by not saving everyone, even though he does try to redeem himself there too.
And in the end he did. But at what cost?
Yep.
At what cost?
So I enjoy this movie a little bit better than Man of Steel on that one. Unlike you, I can never forgive Man of Steel.
Well, my score, 6 out of 10. It barely passes for me, and that's because the Ultimate Edition actually did this film better. If we had just gone by the theatrical release, it would either get a 4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. Mm-hmm. The Ultimate Edition actually made it a decent movie.
Yeah. A
passable movie. There were elements about it that I thought were fantastic. The fight scene between Batman and Superman. Yeah. How they made Batman in the film. Even some more of the elements of Superman's relationship with Lois Lane.
And him be more Clark Kent the reporter. Which we've never seen in the theatrical cut.
Yes. And we actively get to see Batman do more of his detective work.
Yep.
And, the discovery of kryptonite.
Yep.
But the wasting of Mercy Greaves and Jimmy Olsen, the fact of how in the world did Clark Kent figure out that Bruce Wayne's Batman?
Oh yeah,
we still don't.
Yeah, that's why it got the AL 10 because of that. That was the one that irritated me the most. I know people keep on giving me excuses on that. That maybe he heard from that one time that he met Bruce Wayne. That's still no excuse, by the way, on that one. That still doesn't make it damn sense. It would have been different if they did like the animated series, like him looking through there.
And at least that was better than how they did in the original comics. Oh, we're both on a boat. Oh no, something bad's happening. Let's go and change into our costumes. Oh, we accidentally went into the same room. Oh, light flashes. Bruce? Clark?
And also, he treats Bruce like a friend, even though he told him that the bat was Zed when he first met him as Batman.
Yeah, and also telling, Martha Kent that, yeah, I'm a friend of your son, even though I tried to kill him like 15 minutes earlier.
And we'll still get that repercussion of that in the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend, after 15 minutes of fighting.
Tell me, do you bleed? You will.
Unless you say Martha.
Yeah. Even though that fight was awesome.
Yeah.
Seriously, seeing Batman in that awesome super suit from Dark Knight Returns was awesome.
The inner meme Martha that will never go away.
And of course, I also explained the reason why I also give it a 6 is the creation of Doomsday.
Yeah.
You did it wrong. Fix it.
Well, before we get out of here, we recommend that you guys find us on Facebook, like and comment on our YouTube, especially if you have different opinions on this, especially all of you superhero fans.
Yes, we want to hear your feedback, and we want to hear your thoughts on this as well.
Yeah.
This is a film that causes a great deal of passionate feelings, whether they're positive or negative,
Yep.
as you can see.
Yep.
So
our next video will be on Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yep. So, I'll roll us out this time since I'm in a better, chipper mood on this one.
Sure. Yeah.
So, thank you all for watching. Let's fade to black.